Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you guys how to make this little diamond peyote stitch. Things you will need is string. I prefer a fishing line. You can use elastic if you want to. Scissors. 63 black for the outside or whatever color you want. And 70 inside beads. I'm using white. Okay, so this is the pattern that you're going to follow. 2 black, 1 white, 2 white, 1 white, 2 white, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 black, 2 white, 1 white, 2 black, 1 black. Let's get your string. Pull an arm's length or whatever you feel comfortable with. I like to pull more than is necessary. I'm going to start beading on the beads. Black on each string. String together, 1 white. Put a white on each string, so the 2 white. One white. Two whites, 1 white, 1, It should look like that. You guys know what I like to do. I like to tie before I add on the 1 bead. So I'm just going to tie it here. You can add the 1 bead on and tie if you want to. I just like to keep it tight. Now I'm going to add on the 1 black. Should look like this. Now take the string, doesn't really matter which one. And you're going to put a black bead on and come up through this one. And then your next bead is going to be a black bead. Pull it through this white one. Now you're going to put on another black bead and come through this one right here. Now you're going to finish off the rest of the way till white until you get right here. You can hear the kids outside playing. And once you get here, you're going to put on a black bead. Go through this very last black bead here. And now you're going to come back up through the bead that you just put on. Now you're going to add a black bead. Come through this white bead next to it. Alright, sorry, I had to reposition myself. Sitting like this was painful. Now we're going to go back into the pattern. We're going to put on a white bead. Another white bead. Nope, I grabbed a black bead. No, you need a white bead, not a black bead. Now you're going to put on another white bead. Should look like this now. Now you're going to put on a black bead. Come through the black bead here. And now a white bead to finish off the row. Now you're going to put on a black bead and come back up through this white bead here. Now we're going to put on a white bead. Come through that black one. Now you're going to want to put on a black bead. Come through the white. You're going to put on 3 white beads, and we'll see you at the end. Alright, now your pattern should look like this, and you should be coming out of this white bead here. Now you're going to add a black one. Come through the black bead. Now you're going to come back up through that black bead that you just put on. Now you're just going to add white beads and stop at this black bead. See you in a bit. Alright, so your pattern should look like this. Before, when I said just add white beads, if you added a white bead here, pause this now, go back and put a black bead and then 3 white beads, and then you can unpause. You should be coming out of this bead here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a black bead. And now you're going to add a white bead, coming through the very last bead over here. And it should look like this. I'm going to take a black bead, come back up through this white bead that you just put on, just like that. Now you're going to add another black bead. And now we're going to add one more black bead. Now you're going to add 2 white beads. And now you're going to add a black bead right here. That row should look just like that. You can come back up to the black bead you just put on. Now we're going to add another black bead. Now, 2 white beads, just like before. Give me one moment. Okay, now we're going to add a white bead. Now a black bead. My other string decided I wanted to get up in there too. Alright, I had to check my pattern. Now you're going to add one more black bead and come back up through the black bead here. Put on a white bead. And you're going to put a black bead on and come through that white bead there. Now you're going to put on one white bead. Come through that white bead there. And you're going to put on a black bead. Just like that. Come back up through the black bead that you just put on. You're going to go down, add a black bead. Now we're going to add a white bead right here. And that will be your last white bead for over in the big area. So now there will be no more white beads in this area right here other than down here. Now, one more white bead and that's your last white bead for the top. Now you're going to add your black bead. Should look like this. Now right here we're going to start building up this top. So you're going to take the string, you're going to come up through the black bead that you just put on. And now we're going to just add black beads the whole row. Come back up through that black bead there. 2 more black beads. And you're going to come back up through that black bead and put on your last black bead. It should look like that. That's your top. Now leave this string alone. We're not going to tie this yet. Instead, we're going to come down to the bottom here. I'm going to take the string that should still be coming out of this bead right here. Now we're just going to work on the bottom. Alright, so we're right here. So you're going to put on a black bead. You're going to come up through this black right here. Now we're working on the bottom. Now you're going to put on another black bead. Come through this white right beside it. Now another black bead. Alright, now for these, just add the white. Stop at this, after you add this bead right here, and I'll show you what to do. Alright, so after you've added this bead here, it should be right here. You're going to add a black bead. Come through this last black bead right here. Just like that. Come back up through that black bead. Now you're going to add whites this whole row. Stop when you get to this black bead right here. And we'll go back with that. Alright, again with this row, if you put a white bead right here, go back, you could pause this, go back and put a black bead there, and then do white, and then come back when you're right here. Alright. So now that we're here, we're going to add on a black bead. And now we're going to put on a white bead. Come through the last black in that row. Should see your pattern starting to come together. Now you're going to add a black bead to your string and come right back up through the white bead that you just put on. Now we're going to add a white bead. Come through the black bead right beside it. And now we are going to add a black bead. Alright, now put on 1, 2, 3 white beads. Stop when you're coming out of this white bead right here. Back into it. Alright, so now that you're coming out of this bead, you're going to put on a black one. You playing on my profile or yours? Alright, you're going to come back up through the bead that you just put on. Put on a black bead. Nice. Alright, now put on 3 white beads and meet you back up. Alright, now you should be coming out of the black bead right here. You're going to add a black bead and come through this white. And you're going to come back through that white with a white bead. Put on the white bead and go through the black, sorry. Now you're going to put on a black bead and come back up through the white that you just put on. You're going to put on 2 more black beads. Black bead right here. And now a black bead right here. Make sure you're coming through the next bead right beside it. Now we're going to add 2 white beads.
Sorry, man. I can't kill everyone.
And now right here, we're going to put on a black bead. like that. Come back up through that black bead. Now we're going to add another black bead. Come through the white. Now 2 more whites. Now you're going to want to put on another white bead. And a black bead to top off the row. Alright, if I'm looking at the pattern correct, there's one more black bead that needs to go on. Come back up through this black bead here that you just put on. Now we're going to put on a white bead. Come through that white bead right there. And one more black bead over here. Okay, if I can grab my string. Now you're going to put on one white. And a black bead.
These guys move.
Come back up through the black bead you just put on. Add a black bead. Come through that white bead. Now you're going to add your last black bead for this part completely. Or white bead, not black bead.
Oh yeah, I thought you were inside that too.
Now right here we're going to add on our very last white bead. Now the rest is all black. Should look like that. Add a black bead.
God damn, I just got fucking surrounded.
Now we're going to start making this part again. So now you're going to take your string with no bead on it, come back up through the black bead you just put on. Now fill that row with black beads.
The fuck, that one has a fucking clown mask on. What the fuck?
Ignore my fiance is playing a game. Come back up to the black bead you just put on. Add 2 black beads. And come back up through that black bead and add your last bead. Alright, now we're going to tie this. Take the string that you were just working on, work it down through this whole row of beads till you're coming out of this one right here. Just like so. Now, just like this, your string should be coming out of this bead right here. You want to take this string that you were working on earlier and get it through down to this bead, doing the same thing as before. You do that and we'll be back for the tying. Alright, and both strings should be coming out of these beads here. Now you're just going to tie it off. It's okay if it curls like that, it'll flatten out. Cut your strings and flatten it out. Now take one of the strings that you just cut off, because now we're going to tie on the last bead. Go up through this bead here with one end. And then this bead here with the other. Your strings should be go in down this way. Should be coming out like that. Just like that. You're going to add your one bead. And come back down through the two beads that you just put the string on through. Now you're just going to tie it off. Cut the strings off. Try to flatten it out as best you can. And there you go. You get a cute little candy diamond. Make sure to subscribe. I try to make videos every single week. Bye.